Joining us now is HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, for joining us this morning. So it's really remarkable watching that interview last week with you and Bret Baier and the four of you. I cannot remember ever seeing a more radical departure from the previous administration to a current administration. And with this announcement with the food dyes, how big a part of everything you want to get done are these dyes?
Well, the dyes are, important both from a reality point of view. They're linked to cancers. They're linked to ADHD, to all kinds of neurological impacts. There are 9 synthetic petroleum-based food dyes that we're going to get rid of. The 2 worst ones, citrus red and orange number 2, we're going to get, within the next 2 months, we're going to get them off the market. We're going to revoke their authorizations. We're going to revoke the authorizations for red dye number 3 much quicker than the Biden administration during the last days had announced that they were going to get rid of red dye number 3 by 2027. We're going to do it much, much faster. And, the food industry has really stepped up, and I'm so, we're working together. We're very well together within the agency, FDA, NIH, and CDC. But the industry's working with us. And, yesterday, Tyson Foods announced that it's going to get rid of all of its synthetic dyes by May. So the industry is coming to the table. They're talking to us. They're taking this seriously. And I'm very, very happy with John King at Tyson's for really, he told me when we met with them 2 months ago, we're going to get this done. And no matter what anybody tells you, the industry can do this. And he's really stepped up in an amazing way. It's one of the biggest food companies, and they're taking their dye out of all of their products. So, I'm very optimistic that we can get this done. Americans support it. They don't want to be eating petroleum anymore.
can I dig into that just a little bit more? I'm coming from the business side of things, and I hear so many people say, big industry wants to keep people sick or keep people addicted or unhealthy. And I'm hearing a very different message from you today, that you're actually finding a ton of buy-in from business. Are you surprised by that? And what does that mean in terms of the possibilities for what you want to do?
I am, and it's, the pharmaceutical industry actually the food industry really is not profiting from keeping us all sick, but it is keeping us sick. The pharmaceutical industry actually profits from it. But I have found, I met with the CEOs of the 4 of the biggest pharmaceutical companies this week, and I've met with them repeatedly. I talk to them all the time, and they are committed to making this happen. So, we'll see. A lot of it is going to go against their immediate financial interests, the interests of their shareholders, and a lot of the things that we're asking them to do. And we're asking them to do a lot of things at the same time, to lower drug prices and to do better safety testing and to do better efficacy testing. And so it's a lot, but these are very smart people, and they're very energetic, and they at least have committed to us that this is something that they want to work with us and make sure this gets done, and that they play a critical role in transitioning us from a sick care system in this country to a health care system, and that their products are actually doing what they want them to do, which is to make Americans healthy again.
Yeah, one of the cases that you make, Bobby, and so many others who agree with your whole MAHA movement, is that food is responsible for making so many people sick because of the things that you're talking about, but also that food can be healing. And one of the people that has always believed that is Casey Means, who wrote Good Energy with her brother, Callie Means, who's been a guest on this show many times. As you know, Casey Means has been nominated for the position of Surgeon General by President Trump. And now there's a lot of controversy around that nomination. I want to give you a chance to address some of the critiques that people people are making about the nomination. And I know you stand very strongly behind it, so you can make the case for that.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy that and grateful to President Trump for nominating Casey as the Surgeon General. There's the industries that are threatened by her nomination are mobilizing, and they're actually paying a lot of bloggers. We've learned now to attack her. They're attacking her on the mainly on the critique that she stopped practicing medicine. Casey was at the top of her Stanford class. She was president of her Stanford class. As a resident, she won every award that you could get for the kind of surgery that she was doing. And she realized very early on that she was not healing patients. They were coming back again and again because the surgeries were treating the symptoms and not the underlying causes. And she decided to devote her life to figuring out what those underlying causes were and to ending those exposures. She wrote a best-selling book that really galvanized the MAHA movement. And Rachel, I'm very very grateful to you, the leadership that you've shown in telling this story to the American public. Casey is an incredible storyteller. She is a pregnant mom right now, so she has a touchstone with every mother in this country. How do we take care of our babies? How do we give them good milk? How do we make sure that their foods are not poisoning them? And she can tell that story, and I don't think there's going to be a more effective Surgeon General in our history because of the capacity and the talents and the experience that she has.
Is Donald Trump going to stick by this nomination?
I'm very optimistic that he will. He had a great meeting with Casey and really liked her, and I think he knows how important she is for our country.
Wonderful. Well, it's wonderful having you on, and it's wonderful hearing the really great work that you're doing and how quickly the MAHA movement is actually coming up with some really tangible, durable, sustainable wins for our country. And we're going to see those rewards, I think, as chronic disease decreases. I believe you're going to do that, Mr. Secretary. We're really grateful for you being on
Thank you for
Fox
joining
Friends
us
this weekend.
Great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.